Hello everyone and welcome back to another Jayrocks video. Here I'm just going to do a slight update on the autumn loam feed that we put down 2 weeks ago and how the grass is currently looking. I'm basically just going to give you a little show around things that annoy me this time of year that I'm sure is bugging all of you as well. So just going to take a little look around and yeah, just a little update.
Let's drink up, your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Like that Marvin Gaye song. I'm stunning, you love it.
Right, so I'm sure it's been pretty similar wherever you've been. Last week's temperatures absolutely dropped. It was freezing in the mornings, so I found that growth, even though I just put down a feed, growth had slowed right down. So I've actually only cut this lawn twice in the last 2 weeks. Current conditions, how you can see it now, it is a lot more greener across the board, what I'm really happy with. That autumn feed's really kicked in. As you'll know, the temperatures really dropped down last week, so we've just had a really massive slow down of growth, considering it's only been cut twice. These edges are normally sort of over the sides now, what they aren't today, but I'm going to put them back in anyway nonetheless. We're still looking at having bits of yellowing throughout the turf, what you can't really do much with. The bit that's annoying me is like your worm casts that are just sort of hanging about. I have taken the blower across this today in hope to try and get rid of them, but it's just one of them. So I'm going to raise the height of cut as well today and keep it around sort of 35 mil, probably from here on out through the season.
I know that you want it. Come on, give me something. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young and so are we, baby. The night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now. Give it to me like you know you should now, baby. This could be the summer of our lives, the summer of our lives. The sun sets on fire, tell me your desires.
For those who was asking, this is a Husqvarna 325 ILK and it's a combi attachment, so you can put either strimmer heads, edger attachments, trimmer heads, pole saw attachments, all sorts onto this one combi unit. Bit pricey, but it's a brilliant bit of kit.
Baby, tell me how you love it. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it, boy. The night is young, so are we. So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young, so are we, baby. The night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now. Give it to me like you know you should now, baby. This could be the summer of our lives, the summer of our lives. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. If you love me right, if you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now. Give it to me like you know you should now, baby. This could be the summer of our lives, the summer of our lives. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night.
So what you see by me now is basically the cut and how the finish is going to look pretty much until the end of the year, until we start losing a bit of colour. We also start getting a bit of weeds creep through, so all I get is something like off the shelf. Here it's just a Roundup, kills weeds, not lawns. Okay, make sure it's one of these that has this label on if you're getting it off the shelf, simply just so you don't kill the lawn while you're doing it. Now I have not put any seed down this autumn. If I had, then I wouldn't be able to be spraying this so soon. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Always read the label on the back, and always make sure that you're wearing the correct PPE as well. But yeah, I just basically go on one spray over sort of any broadleaf weeds that I might be able to see. There's a couple of towards the back there that I've just went and sprayed. So just bear that in mind, that it's just good to keep on top of. And also you'll notice on the far side when I was trimming, I am ruthless down that back side. Basically because it's all sort of shrubbier growth, apart from the hydrangeas that I don't attack, anything else just gets straight lined, and it's my way of keeping it back. Yes, it looks pretty brutal to begin with, but I only need to do that maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, and it just keeps everything back a bit. Otherwise, like last year, what I found out is things start growing over your lawn and it ends up just killing patches of your lawn. So I'd much rather kill off geraniums and stuff like that than actually killing off bits of the lawn, because it looks a bit savage in the long run. So I'll just give you a quick walk around now and we'll have a little look. So first and foremost here, this is all of our clippings. As you can see, all pretty nice healthy colour. Pretty happy with how all these are coming out, even with the rotary, how it gets cut. I really can't complain. Now this is the finish from this angle, so where you can see the stripes. It's a shame because in a couple of hours the sun would be on this and it would actually look really nice, but as you can see down the edges, wherever you're sort of turning, it's starting to just get a bit boggier, and it's same in that back corner. It's just not great. One thing you might actually notice when I was doing it, instead of turning on the spot as you normally would say in summer or whatnot, I kind of do a little 3-point turn every time I'm sort of changing direction. Make sure you do this, because if the lawn's a bit damp, okay, the soil's a bit moist, then all you're going to find is that you're going to end up tearing up bits of the lawn just by turning on that same direction. So kind of do a little 3-point turn and off you go. It'll just minimise the damage if you have to cut. So there we have it then. Basically all it was a little catch up, show you how the colour's holding after 2 weeks. Mine, I must say, it only really kicked in the last sort of 7 days, the feed, the autumn lawn feed. Happy enough for how it's been, and it's not given it a huge sort of kick of growth, because that's not what we want. Top tip from what I'm seeing on sort of the comments and things like that on Facebook groups and all the rest of it, is people's asking if they can still use their summer feeds in autumn. Technically you can put down feed any time of the year, but what it's going to do is put an unnecessary kick on your lawn, and it's going to start putting a lot of growth on the top end, when that's not what we want. We want to start focusing on the overall health of the plant, keeping it healthier going into winter, and surviving and bouncing out the next sort of the back end of, you know, winter to start of spring a lot more better than, you know, just having a bit of lush growth now. So try and refrain from putting your summer feeds down. Try and focus on an autumn to winter feed or a mix of the both, and you'll find out you get a lot better results. Going on from that, I just want to say, I haven't mentioned it before, but we also do the podcast that drops every Saturday morning on sort of iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify. It's everywhere. So check my link in this description below, as well as if you're on Instagram, you can check through the bio there, and it's got everything for the podcast and all the rest of it. And that's anything from sort of autumn lawn care tips to sort of general lawn care to interviews with other sort of influencers and everything around the business and companies. So thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.